All right, Grand Rising Elizabeth. Welcome, welcome. Today is Friday, December 29th, 2023. This is the last Friday you're going to see in 2023. So let's celebrate. We are celebrating so much today. Before we get into what we are celebrating, I'm Lolly. Hey. And we are
Hey,
here with Queen Aduni.
hey, hey, hey.
Yes. So we are celebrating so much, as I mentioned, including Kwanzaa. So we've got a lot to
Hey.
be talking about.
Mhm.
Take it away, Queen.
All right. Well, I'm going to start with our with Danny and in her writings, which are called Check Yourself.
Check yourself.
Just check yourself. My favorite color.
Mhm.
Her packaging is just beautiful.
It is. It is.
Let me see, where are we going? Like they do. And
She
here we
says you could take them off the ring and throw them up. But I said, no, I don't want.
I ain't going through all that. I'll just.
I don't want to be finding them.
And today is insist.
Yes, I love it.
When you must insist, insist that you be given the right to speak. Insist on the truth. Insist that people be civil and respectful. Insist on a fair deal. Insist people look at you when they talk to you. Insist on nothing less from yourself. When polite isn't quite enough and demanding seems over the top, simply, firmly, clearly insist. Yay.
Mhm.
Yay. I think we read that before.
I think
Yeah,
so too.
that you did, and
It
it's still,
insisted on coming
it's
back.
still, yeah.
We have not insisted enough, or we need to just do some more insisting.
Yeah.
Insisting that life be as you want it to be. Oh, so there's Danny. And again, I don't know who did not hear, but Danny has been ordained as a minister in her church now.
Yay.
Mm-hmm. That's a big responsibility. Grand Rising, Mama and Gia, welcome. Who else is on here? Is this Sharonda?
All right.
The 610. Is that Sharonda? Okay, I guess they'll show them. So is that Brenda? Well, Grand Rising,
Oh,
everybody.
yes. You look lovely, Angia.
Sante Sana, I appreciate you, Miss Evelyn, and happy birthday to you.
Oh,
Happy
thank
birthday.
you.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. So okay. Kind of like a body
Oh,
body. And we say Ujama.
Yeah.
Ujama. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Ujama.
Ujama. I get that one and the UJI mixed up in how you say it.
Right,
Mm.
Ujama.
Mm-hmm. And so we'll go right here. Just talk about. Okay, so Ujama.
Ujama.
Shared work, wealth, and good in the world.
Mm.
Task is to expand the democratic space in which ordinary citizens can make decisions and on their own behalf to benefit their own community, their country, and the environment that sustains them. There are more important things in life than amassing riches. And if the pursuit of wealth clashes with things like human dignity and social equality, the latter must be given priority.
Mm.
It is to build and maintain our own stores, our own shops, and other businesses, and to profit from them together. We're going to also talk about NIA. We'll do that on the second half. We had to divide everything up because the days and trying to fit everything into 5 days.
Right.
Actually, we only had 4 days because the Monday was the Christmas holiday. So we just, put them all in here together so that we can cover them all. And for those who do not know, I am just so honored to have my friend who I totally respect and totally love. We don't hang out together, but we are always together. Get that in my heart. I met Ingia, oh man, years ago, actually, probably around the time I met my husband. And because he's a musician and she was, running the events and stuff. And I don't know if you were running the events when I met you, but you were at a particular stage, making sure that everything was running right. And you've always been very open to everybody and open to asking you questions and things like that. And my desire and my love is event planning. And so whenever I would think about that, I would think about you. And then also when we did the African World Festivals, and then I found out you were doing that as well. So you've been my my shero, but in the sense of that you were doing what I wanted to do. So I could see you doing it and just put my energy into what you were doing as I was doing the things that I was doing as well. We're going to talk about, we can talk about both of them, but Nia as well, because our show is purpose and passion. That is what we talk about on Fridays. So we're going to talk about the two things. Let me see what they have here for Nia. To make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. So welcome everybody in the house. All right. We're so quiet. Okay. So there she is. I'm still looking for who is 313610.
Well, if I may share
I know who
before
it is. Okay, I see it. I see it in my context. Go right ahead, babe.
Okay. So if I may share before we get into I guess more in-depth conversation on Ujamaa and Nia and Kwanzaa in general, I wanted to share a post that I made the other day that was really about Kwanzaa principles, but it was about its impact in my life and how I'm using them right now at this very moment. Because I think oftentimes we have this idea of like, oh, Kwanzaa, this is this time of year where we do something instead of doing Christmas or whatever else. And this is just the holiday season. And like, if you can think about it that way if you want to, but the principles are principles that exist in our lives. And this is just a time where we can, I guess, in a sense, monument those. We can actually like lift those up again and just as a reminder before we go into the new year of what these principles are, but it's not a one-time thing. So in this particular season of my life, I'm doing quite a bit, including putting on shows, events, and that's why I'm in New Orleans right now. And I was reflecting on everything that I was doing for the event, and I was like, hold on a second. I am using Kwanzaa principles in this very moment. So I'm going to read this and we'll talk about it a little bit, but this was my post that I made, and it says, make it bigger for myself. All right. Deciding to put on a showcase at the end of the year in a whole different state is forcing me to use Kwanzaa principles. Yesterday, I had to unite with my team, Umoja. Today, I have to really be determined in my ability to wrap up all loose ends and get on the road, Kuji Jakalia. Tomorrow, I'll be engaging with my New Orleans community as best as I can and recruiting help for the Low Key Collective, my entertainment and community collective, Ujima. Friday, I'm finalizing all payments and closing online ticket sales, hoping that my community support is able to balance my expenditures for a great show. Ujama. I'll also be gathering all my event participants together to ensure we are on the same page and showing gratitude for them living their purpose and sharing it through my platform, Nia. Saturday, I'll be putting on my event. I know there will be a challenge here or there, but I'll need to be creative in my execution. Kuumba. But the biggest for me is for this entire trip is faith that all things will work out for the greater good of myself and others. Imani. May this experience teach me and guide me, and may it positively impact my community. So, as we're looking at some of the big things in our lives, using the Kwanzaa principles, I don't care if it's in July, using the Kwanzaa principles as like, I guess you could say as a mirror of like, okay, here's what I'm doing. Am I using the Kwanzaa principles right now? How am I impacting my community? How am I walking in faith? How am I, really standing in collectivism, I guess you could say, with my community? How am I supporting my community economically, and how are they supporting me? Of course, this is a mutual thing. How am I determined in myself to really accomplish what my goals are? you know, that is just, and again, back to Nia, what is my purpose? Am I walking in my purpose? These are principles. These are not days of the week necessarily. These are principles that we can live by and really utilize. So I'm sharing that because there may be something that you are currently doing, you are currently active in, you are currently creating, putting on, whatever. And take a look at the Kwanzaa principles. You might be able to, realign yourself and get yourself back excited about what it is that you're doing, because you're like, hey, I'm actually check Kwanzaa principles. Check, 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 check. We're good. We're good. All right, we on a good page.
Yeah.
So I hope that was encouraging, and I hope that helps to kind of start a little conversation
Yeah.
about the reality of it. It's not just a day.
Yeah, not just one time a year, right?
Yeah, that's good. That's good, Lolly. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, she was seriously speaking that's the whole conversation about Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is an opportunity each year for a individual or a family or community or organization to come together and review their year and to see how they have lived these principles, and to then through those discussions embed those principles more deeply in themselves so that the next year they'll be even more expressed in what they say and do. So that's you have spoken Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is not like some holidays, which is supposed to mean holy days. It's not like some holidays that are based on an individual or a religious belief or a significant moment. This is a Pan-African observance. And Dr. Karenga chose those 7 days because for a lot of people of African descent, that period between Christmas and New Year's is available to them and their families to be able to spend this time each night or each day together to review these principles. So you're very correct. This is not supposed to be a once a year thing. You come together, you eat and greet and have a great time. The Kwanzaa is centered, founded on the Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles, and everything else is the add-on. It is these 7 principles because we're in rebuilding. For many of our people, many of our communities, a lot of our families, we are rebuilding. We are coming through the struggles of the past and striving for upliftment and success, progress, and these principles can assist. And also, the first one being unity, we can hold these principles together. I'm saying we can all focus on them together. Yes. Because it does not require you to give up anything that you currently believe or practice. It asks you to use this as a focal point so that within our groups, we're able to come together. You must have unity to achieve something. And so it's really about using these principles as a focal point for us to move ahead.
Awesome. Hey. Yeah, that was really good, Lolly. And Gia, as you said, it is our life, how we live our life, period. You know, just live as we come together every day, to Monday through Friday. That is what we do, what we talk about, what we share with one another, how we support one another in all kinds of ways, not just coming together and sharing from our mouth, but actually jumping in and going and helping people move and helping people find resources and the like. So, yeah.
I often at Kwanzaa gatherings, I often will comment the fact that we have been given a story, his story. We've been taught a history to mold our behaviors, our thinking, our feelings in a certain direction, generally away from our self-benefit. And it is important to have a different focus. And that's one of the reasons. I mean, people have a lot to say about Kwanzaa, its founder, boom, boom, boom. I'm saying, what other time during the year do we gather as an overall community, not just within our own organizations or churches, but when do we gather as a collective community to discuss how we can work together to move forward? I think it's just important. I just think it's important and gives us an opportunity to engage the entire community, all ages, all stations, all hairstyles and clothing styles. Everybody, please, come together. And it's so important. I'm just grateful that the brother had the insight to establish it, and that for 60 some years now, this has been built by this community. This, and it's worldwide. It happens all over the world now.
Yeah, that's good. And Jill, when you had put out the word and the invitation for all of the sisters to come together, that was Kwanzaa. All of us coming together and getting with the young people, and how you had those that were elders to partner with the ones that are new and up and coming teens and mothers to be. That was the community coming together to look out for one another, because some of those sisters I know and have met over the years and passing and such, so we know each other when we see each other. But to come and actually be able to have a moment to just talk and not be responsible. Well, you were responsible for, but just to come in and just be of service to one another. I was speaking with someone, and I was just saying it would be wonderful for all of these sisters that have all of us to just come together at just one a week of oneness, where we can do something just together. No big I, no little you, no, none of that. But just what the different things that we all have and are, and who we are, and the different talents and the different ideas and such, to be able to come together of like mind and really get some work done in Detroit. I'm going to say Detroit because that's where we are in this Metro Detroit. One, to fortify what we're already doing, and then two, to prepare for what is coming. And there's some devastating things coming. There's some wonderful things coming as well. We just want to be prepared for whatever. I mean, life is that anyway. You know, you wake up and you're dealing with whatever you're dealing with. And you may have had, I'm going to go skating and I'm going to do this. And then somebody calls you, and then there's some tragedy happening in someone's life that is near to you and dear to you, and everything kind of shifts. But to be able to come together and find out, last night in our class, our Course in Miracles class, we found out one of the sisters, Mariah, comes on, and she's I've never seen, her makeup was impeccable, her lips and all of that, lipstick and stuff, and then she says, "Oh, I make this and I make that," and then it's like, what? We've been together like half a year.
We didn't know that.
You know, by the same token, she did not know. I said, "Girl," and I'm like, "Put your face up to the mirror, to the things," and I'm slapping her. And then I said, "Well, you could slap me because I didn't tell you that I have a natural hair school and salon for you to place your products in." So when we come, when I also say this to the music industry, we don't know, we come together and we do our little singing, we do our little dancing, we do our little playing and stuff, but I don't know that you're a master builder. I don't know that you love to watch children and you're safe. You know, I don't know that you can run a school. I don't know, because all I know is those 15 minutes or that hour that I'm watching you do your whatever you're doing with me right then and there. So to be able to actually share, you know, all of that with one another in a, oh, wow, in a collective way, in a collective manner, where everyone is respected, and everyone does not have to do something at that one particular time. You could do that next year, or we could do it again some other time, or find out about one another's. That, I think that is, you know, one of the things that we could do, that I would love to see done. Yeah.
You know, last night, we have what I do is we produce major public events here in the city of Detroit.
Mhm.
And we work with a lot of different organizations throughout the year. So last night we had our end of the year gathering for our staff and crew and associates.
Mhm.
And I would say probably about 85% of the folks that are steady with us throughout the year were present. So at one point, and it was Ujima yesterday, which is collective work and responsibility. So we chose that day for our gathering because that's what we do. We work as a team, and it's the team that causes the success of our efforts. So at a certain point, we had all the folks who were present. We took the time for each person to stand and introduce themselves and talk about just what you said, sis, the various skills and talents that they have and all the different things that they do. Because exactly what you said, when someone introduces themselves to me as a saxophone player, that's what I know, that they are a sax player. I met a sister one time and she played the tuba. And so I thought she was a full-time musician playing the tuba. And it turned out that she travels the full across the United States on a continual basis as a technical curriculum specialist.
Wow.
And she goes various places. She's got 2 masters, I mean, all these things I just never knew. Just happened. We had a break in the show and we were sitting talking, and I said something about what other gigs, and she said, well, really, I don't do a lot of this because I'm da 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 boom boom. And that happened last night also, with everyone introducing themselves and discussing. We found out we had a expert in financial investments who could help people in real estate and other areas of their life. And we found out that one of the guys who just shows up to help us out turned out that he's a tour manager and is traveling the world right now. Just came back from Asia and Saudi Arabia
Wow.
on tour with an artist. And who would have known if we didn't take the time? So I just want to mention that, sis, that's something that even when my father passed, for instance, I looked around at the repast and realized there were a lot of people there I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
So I just stood and asked, could we each just stand and introduce ourselves and say our names and how we were related to my dad? I met relatives I didn't know. We were in the room together. We would not have known we were related. So that interaction, because we're no longer a small community, we are fractured, we are scattered, and we're in a lot of urban environments. As you said, we have to create these opportunities and exploit and I'm saying exploit, but certainly use those those gatherings. Infuse yourself. Stand up and say, hey, let's all at least say what side of town we live on. I mean, something that brings out more information and allows people to network, because there is the Ujamaa. That's where the cooperative economics. It does not mean that because you have $1, I need to come and get your $1. That can be true, but economics is more than just cash exchanges.
Yeah.
And we have resources and skills and access that we can share and build upon that can move us forward exponentially. So absolutely agree with all that you said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyone else want to share?
I just wanted to add on to that before someone shares. I love that. I love the words that I used in describing some of these principles. Collective work,
Mm-hmm.
cooperative economics. It's this idea of I am here and you are here and we need each other type thing. Because a lot of times we can get kind of caught up in like, this is what I do, and I do this, and I need this, I. And it's like, what about your brother, your sister, your cousin? How are y'all working together to make sure that these purposes are fulfilled together? And truthfully, there is no economics with just one person.
Mm-mm.
There's the work can't be done with just one person. Even if you did your absolute best, you cannot do everything by yourself.
Right.
So this idea of community is so ingrained within the principles. And I love that. And I love that we can highlight that, especially now as we're going into this next year, just really highlighting that community is important. And a lot of times we get caught up in like, well, I don't like my community. This community is, I'm not about the community. It's always drama. It's always this. Let's go back to these principles because sometimes we're not always following them. And that's just, things get a little chaotic. But let's come back. Let's come back to it. Let's come back to it. And if your community really, if the community that you are currently a part of is not one that you find you can have collectivism in, that you can have cooperation in, then that's where that self-determination to create that community comes in too. But yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I was at the Kwanzaa, the candle, when they
The Kanara lighting.
lighting, these sister and her son sat right behind me, and there was another sister who is from Detroit. I assume she was from Detroit, or she lives here, but the other two had just moved here from Florida. And when they sat down, they was like, finally, I find something going on for our people. Where's the Black community? I turned around and I looked at her and she said, so the other sisters started talking, and I said, there's a lot of things going on in our community here. So I took her name. I made sure she knew. She said, what are the events for Kwanzaa and all that stuff? I sent her that. And I sent her some other information. So where have you been where you don't see anything? But where have you been where you don't see anything? There's a lot going on in our community, and a
You know,
lot more.
like this, it was funny because we hosted our event at a community, it's a community development office, Live Six. They were kind enough to provide their space right there at West McNichols, just what would that be? Just west of Livernois.
Mhm.
And so we were in there doing our thing. And so a gentleman came in the door and I didn't know who he was. So I went up to him and he said he was, his friend was down the street at another gathering probably at a bar for a party. And he saw us in there and saw the Kwanzaa table. So he just walked in to see if we were having a Kwanzaa program. I told him the nature of, it was kind of like an office party kind of situation. And he said, wow, because I just got a djembe and I'm really trying to figure out, where I can get lessons, blah, blah. So I was able to give him Sawande's, information. And long story short, he made that hookup.
Mhm.
And it's just what you're saying. What we know is that we are the minority. We don't have all of the mainstream opportunities to promote and teach our point of view, our cultural mores and traditions. And so it requires those of us who are into it to spread it, first of all, by our example, because you got to be it in order to really make it real to other people. So that's that unity of self.
Mhm.
And then going forward, and I just mentioned to Lolly's comment that, I have found that all relationships are based on shared values. So whatever that value, it might be, I'm just in relationship with you because I need or want this job. But if you have shared values, that's when relationships endure. That's when they grow. That's how marriages stay together. That's how, friendships last through distance and issues. They last because the basis of it all is shared values. So when you find yourself engaged with people who don't share your values, that's cool. This is the world. Everybody chooses how they want to do. You get to choose to, radiate and magnetize towards folks who are like-minded. And I think it's important towards one's own happiness.
Mhm. Mhm. You have to unmute, baby. Oh, were you talking, Evelyn?
No.
Oh, I saw you. I thought I saw your mouth moving.
I was getting ready to say something. It's just, yeah, yeah, we also need, I believe, yeah, to know what people do. We have, because I realize, that it's not up to me to figure everything out when it comes to what I do. And, yeah, a list of, I know I have a community of people I can call upon to find, uh, like right now I need, printing services, for my earrings because I realized I don't have to sit here and print all this myself. What? Myself? No. I have to put them together myself, but I to print them myself, and then to get the portraits on the pictures and of our ancestors and stuff like that. So that's what I'm looking for now. I said, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna make a couple of calls, and I really would like to deal with my people. So um, yeah, yeah, you just don't know. You just don't know. And then Barbara on the call last night who has vitamins and is in the vitamin business, the natural, she has the best vitamins. We didn't know that. We've been in Course of Miracles for what? Almost a year. We didn't know that. So, yeah. So maybe that great informational, book we need to put together of everybody in the community and what they do and what they be.
What they be? What they be?
Who they be.
The book
I
is the book
agree.
is like they used to have a directory of businesses in the community. But I really appreciate this opportunity that so many of you on this call and who will listen to this call, the opportunities you create for us to actually come and meet each other and share with each other and network together.
Mhm.
You know, and just like if I call the sister, she'll tell me, oh, this one does that one, or she'll direct me within the community to people with the skills or resources that are needed. And we just got to talk it up. You can't help it. The people that Sheila Everette-Hale is going to attract are going to be a lot of leaders, a lot of creative people, a lot of people who are engaged and active. And so you can't help it but to pull that kind of energy together. So you're going to be a point person. We're going to come to you, Evelyn. We're going to come to you. I'm seeing how dynamic Lolly is. We're going to be coming to you because you are those leaders within this community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm a leader. So
He's so cute.
no, honestly, no, it's an honest moment though, because so often I do the work, yes. And I will admit I do the work and I know that I do the work, but it's sometimes you're just doing the work and you don't really take a moment to be like, oh wow, like I am making an impact. I am in my community doing work. I'm not just doing stuff just to do it. Like I'm actually building with others and establishing relationships and creating safe spaces and promoting quality culture. And so that was important for me. It was a little moment. It was yeah. Um
And your babies are gonna remember you. Definitely. You have
they
made
are.
an impact on those kids. You
Oh,
never
okay.
know. You never
What
know.
what was what Mama Evelyn's talking about is I work in the studio with youth artists. So I help them write and record and perform and all of that as well. And yes, indeed, they will. I'm excited for when I'm like in like 20 years and somebody comes up to me and is like, hey, my album just went platinum. I'll be like, we started here. You couldn't write without cursing, and now you got 12 songs going platinum, and one of them is Christian or religious or spiritual, and you don't say a curse word. You're talking about community building. That's beautiful. Um, but yeah, no, I'm excited about just utilizing these Kwanzaa principles. I want to say that last year the Detroit community did such a wonderful job putting together community events to uplift Kwanzaa. Just the Detroit community as a whole, because there's a lot of different people putting on events and sharing. And it was the most informative Kwanzaa experience I have ever had. And I think also because I had that Kuja Jakalia, I had that self-determination to actually go to the event. Because it's easy to be like, oh, I don't know nothing, Kwanzaa, that's cool. And then just kind of sit at home and not go. The actual, like, the principles of Kwanzaa are like used in the events. So it's like you're going to this event, using the principles, learning about the principles with like elders and young people and everybody who are like recommitting themselves to principles. And it's like, it's literally Kwanzaa principles everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing because it's an immersive experience. So for anybody on this call who has yet to go to any Kwanzaa events, you still have a couple more days. Do it. Like, please just immerse yourself in that culture because that community that we create and that we become a part of is what's going to uplift us and support us. It's like we're talking about how we didn't know people did a lot of different things. And then it's like, okay, that shows us the importance of sharing. Sharing is something that happens at these Kwanzaa events as well, either in the beginning or the end. You get community announcements, you hear so much, you learn so much about what is going on in our community and how you could be a part of it. And that is huge. You are heard. This is a space and time where you are heard and you are listening at the same time. It's great. So go to an event if you can, if you're able. If it's virtual, I don't know. I don't know of any virtual ones personally, but if I don't care if it's virtual, but the in-person experience is where it's at. I gotta say.
Yeah. EKJs, I did see your hand.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear
Yes.
you. I can't see you.
No. I'm trying to get my camera on. Hold on
Okay.
a second. I just wanted to share because I left Detroit after 1991 and reflecting back um and having been in 5 other communities in different states. I just want to say that I'm glad to see us on this subject because one of the things that I've been proud of is my training and my gatherings of great people in here in Detroit and all the people I know with the talents, as you say, we're multifaceted people. And that I think that came from people coming from the South with the greatest intentions and the greatest knowledge and skills that passed it on to us. And I have to say that out of all the Kwanzas I've been in 5 states, that when Detroiters have to come together, that was something that was unique. People really didn't hang on to their materialism. They came out and fought for what was right. And I hope that we can maintain that because that's a uniqueness. And then one of the things that I've been working towards is preserving dance and jazz, but also using fitness solutions that are creative to help build people's, total mind, body, and soul, and helping them understand how important movement is. I've been dedicated to that, I guess, since my mom put me in there at age 5, and I'm 66. So I'm proud to say that I'm still doing it, and I'm proud to be a Detroiter. And I want to say that I'm very proud of all the friendships and partnerships that I've built in the city. And Gia and we go way, way back. And I guess to her having Harambe in the early 80s and keeping that momentum. So there are a few of us still doing what we were doing, what we were destined to do. And that's a blessing. And we need to have more open. I know for me, dance is one of the least understood art forms, and that's something that I really, really want to build. And then also, our arts in America are separated. So there are things that people advertise for, like Black artists, but then they really mean only fine arts. And I've been trying to bridge that gap as well. That art is all connected. Every art form has movement, vibrancy. They all have the same elements, whether it's music, dance, poetry, theater. They really do all have the same elements. And I see that. And I've been teaching that. And I want to continue to try to bridge that, understand that creative people need to understand each other, that there's no separatism in the arts. They are all connected. And so I just want to say, I'm proud that we're on this dialogue to build because we are very unique. And I would hate to see that not be passed on to the youth.
Absolutely.
And also, that's something I've tried to explain to some of our younger people is back in the day, we all worked together. If a musician got a gig, he hired a literary person, he hired a movement person, because you need those elements to understand music sometimes. I always say the music is there, but the dance and the things that complement it are help define it.
Yeah, the interpretation, different.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, can you tell us, we don't know who EKJ is, so give us.
Okay, so I'm Eleanor. You know me. I'm the dancer, and I speak to you at Bert's a lot in the
There we
summer.
go. Okay.
And I know your husband very well, and
Okay.
his brother. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Now
I'm on vacation, so I don't know if you all can see me well, but
that's good right there. Right there. It's good. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Okay.
Okay, I want to hear something from Mama Het. Yeah, I know she.
Greetings, Earthlings.
Before you start, I know Mama NG, I know you may have to run off. If you want to come back, do so, and go ahead, babe.
Thank you.
Love you, Mama and Gia.
Love you right back, sis.
All right now.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm grateful to be here, and I will try to rejoin before it's over. I've got to do a little something in the middle here, but I'll try to come back and appreciate you all and know that what you're doing is so important. But also know that you're a link in a chain of men and women who are doing these types of gatherings and informative sessions all the time, everywhere. We just don't have a central way of, knowing all this, but it's happening everywhere. People of good heart, people of good spirit, all the time, everywhere. So just know that what you're doing is so important, and we appreciate you. And I'm grateful that I was invited to participate, and I'll look to come back in before today has ended.
Ashe, thank you, boo.
Yes. Oh wow, what do I have to say? I'm just enjoying everything that everybody said, especially Sister EKJ. I am also a dancer. I like to call what we do edutainment. It's educational entertainment and teaching through movement and how important it is. Um, when we tend to do things, we need to exercise and stretch before we start. My husband and another business partner, community partner of his, were digging post holes for a straw bale structure that we're building on our property. And I told him, I said, y'all need to stretch before you do this. They digging and using muscles that you don't use all the time. And so, now the first day, now you're working the second day with the energy of the first day, and now you're adding to it. So now the muscles are even going to be more, tension. Like, what are we doing? So it's been 3 days of digging, and so just simple movement. And I also have people that they tell me, how do you dance so well, whatever. And I'm telling them, you can take your exercise movement to the dance floor. The dance floor won't judge it, and neither will the DJ. It's shoulders. You can tap your foot if you want to. It's different ways to express, but I just know that movement has helped tell stories. Movement helps our bodies to tell stories. Through movement, you can find out where you have issues and what you can do to help those issues and challenges. So I just respect that so much. And wow, what else? I don't know. Habaragani.
I just want to say, sister, I just did for Kwanzaa yesterday. I represented Kuumba, and Nubia Kai and I have written this piece called The Power of Dance. And I shortened it a bit, but it's a powerful piece. I'll have to share it with you when I get back home.
I'd like to see that.
It may be recorded too on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, so Kaumba is the principle that is, when you go somewhere, you should leave it better than you found it. Yeah, I like that one.
Beneficial and beautiful.
Yes.
For those who are going to inherit it next.
Well, I think I'm complete. I'm just a little wiggly because I'm feeling I went out last night, so I'm feeling some little da-da-da, so I'm just stretching.
Oh, wow. Well, I want to, there's a sister you see down, well, at the bottom is Sister Brenda. You see Brenda. This is her first time. I don't know if it's her first time actually being on Zoom or whatever, but Brenda has been my friend, well, I say our, because she's, my family and such, since Fane was 2 years old or something like that, 3 years old. And so I just wanted to welcome you, and I know you're trying to get on and such, and the things that she has gone through in the past year or 2 years, maybe 3 years, and moving in life. We're the same age. I'm 70. February 1st, I'll be 71. 71 times. I'm ready to kick some butt too. I'm telling you. I'm so ready to kick some butt. You know how you just, how as you get older, you get more sure of what you're doing, and the importance of leaving a legacy. My grandbaby, she's braiding. My older, she's braiding. She can do all that, but she wants to be a bartender and take, do other things and stuff, But this little one right here, she is actually braiding and stuff. And I said, okay, I can leave something to her, but over and above that, I want to make sure that her stance in the community and her stance in who she is and who she's being at every moment, and those things that it took me years to get, or even come into the knowledge that it exists, is there. My mom, she did not raise me like in the community, going out into the community. My mom was a church mama, and she loved church. So that was her entertainment. We're going to church. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And it was actually Detroit, when I came to Detroit in 74, that I actually began to be around. In San Diego, there was not much. You had a mixture of all kinds of people in San Diego, California. And so this is where I got and am getting my cultural footings, and even having the natural hair school and the natural hair salon and such. And but now it's like I'm being like dumped into it. You know how you take a baby and just dip them down and come back up like chocolate, one more layer, one, and then some more, miss that. And then you have to remember, what is that, Achilles heel? You have to, so that heel can get in there too. And then what do you end up being and bringing forth? And how good do you taste? How good do you, how good do you feel? And such, bringing that to your piece, my piece of who I am to this conversation. Okay, anyone else want to share? We are so quiet. This is not norm, you guys. Guess this is not the norm. And it's our last 2-hour Friday. So let's get it on. Okay. Let's talk about purpose and passion, and what we're all about. And as a matter of fact, we've got new people. Let's just share what we're about. And I'd like to also hear from you who have been on here. We are going to a 1-hour show. So we're, instead of 8 to 10, we're going to go from 9 to 10. Give everybody time to do the exercises, meditate, read your books, all of that, and then come on and serve and give and share and receive as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we picked purpose and passion because that's what my purpose is. I create the space and opportunities for people to express and experience their full self-expression, which is their passion, and get paid. And people say, "Oh, you can't, how are you going to guarantee and get paid?" Well, that's not my part. I get the space and bring the people together, and how we end up, each of us end up getting paid for what we do. And that doesn't just mean money. but how do you get compensated for what you do so that you can do your passion and live in joy and happiness? Because when you can dance and that's what your passion is, and you can do that, I mean, it's more than we want you to enjoy it, but oh my goodness, when I'm playing the tambourine, I can close my eyes and there can be nobody there, and I can just enjoy myself, you know. So you just get the benefits of it. So I would like to look at Mama Evelyn's face. What are you trying to see? You're trying to see something.
I'm just reading. I'm reading. Just reading in the chat. See if there's something we need to respond to. Just yeah. I feel very blessed. Just blessed. Just for waking up this morning and for all the information we got last night and Wednesday night and just everything, mulling in it all. And talking about movement. I don't know if Mama Het saw me. I found my bands. So I was sitting here and I was saying, well, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something. So I'm just gonna stretch. Just yeah. So yeah, I need to move. I'm not gonna play around anymore. Yeah. So I'm just excited
Yeah.
about now. I'm excited about now.
Yeah, we see it. So what those of you who have been with us or new to us, not brand new, but we have two people on here that has never been with us. And since this is our last Friday, I would like to know what has been part of the Elizabeth. Now, this is just not the only Elizabeth. Each of us have Elizabeth. They just haven't come on the show so that we can all meet each other. But we have Elizabeth in our lives. And I'd like to know how this show, or the thought of Elizabeth and the discovery of who Elizabeths are, how has that impacted your relationship with the Elizabeths outside of this circle and or these boxes? And how that principle has impacted your life since coming on. Share that in the sense of we have two new people that they would want to come back. Oh man, is that what's going on over there? Over there. So for me, I'm just going to say that all of you sisters have, and the brothers that have come on, has given me nuggets that I can, as I go through life, the ups and downs, the indifferences, all that I have learned has developed me into who I am today. And that I can look at and hear, like I can hear Deetra when she does that little, what is, it's so cute. It's so, it's so her, because she's a little teeny woman, and then when she, how we like she'll just that one little syllable. So, and I can just think of Mama Het when I and when it regards to movement, and definitely when it regards to self-expression. Because she will get up and stand on her head if it's how she needs to express herself and be free to do that, and then bring joy to our hearts watching her do that. When I think about Lolly and her youth, and the one thing that really gets me is when she found out, when Rev came on and she said, I'm Buddhist, and Lolly came alive because, it's not just this. Because the word Elizabeth and the explanation of how it came about would say, oh, this is a whole Christian group. I don't know if I want to, or they're Christians. Yay. I wanted it to be just the principle. It's the principle of women and men who are pregnant with visions and dreams coming together to share. We don't care about all that other stuff.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so that's what I have really gotten out of it. I remember with the Course of Miracles, I remember picking that book up long time ago. And right at the beginning, I'm like, okay, I can't do this by myself. You know, I didn't know anybody, you know, that was doing it. And what I've learned from that and the confrontation of what's not working in my being, in my doing, that I can switch that. And it doesn't take a lot of tarrying in order to do that. So that has been magical in my life when I found out that Jackie is Jackie is I'm sorry, well, we do have two Jackies, but Lakeisha, it has a master in finances. Are you kidding? You know, I know her as a product lady, and then find out that that's where she, you know, that she masters and all of that. So it has been really, really wonderful watching. And I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing for me, the biggest thing is my sister. To watch her transform into who she is now. I told Pam Star, because when she started, she was Pam. She was Pamela,
Mm-hmm.
or Pam Pam. And then she encountered Reverend Omani. And I was telling her it's light color purple. When, who was that? Sophia? Was that Sophia? Oprah's character? It's a question, y'all.
Yeah.
I've
Yes.
never seen y'all this quiet. What? So anyway, but you know, when they're sitting at the table and everybody's talking and stuff, and she said, you know, they asked her, she wanted to say something. No, I don't want to say nothing, you know. And then as everybody began to free themselves, she came alive and she started laughing and you know get up off the table and she get to talking and stuff and oh yeah, I'm home now. And that's what I'm experiencing with my sister.
Mm-hmm.
It's her freeing herself to express herself, to say no when she doesn't want to do something, where it was regret is the word.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly
Just
do it.
do it. And now she, no, I'm not gonna do that. And then she walk around and just, I'm telling you, to see her and this freedom, the freedom that I see in her is invaluable to see that. And then even learn more about the bondage that she was in. And to know that for all of us, freedom is there. Freedom is there. And God will bring people into your lives and situations into your life that will cause that breakthrough that we all need.
Mm-hmm.
When I met Queen Afua, and she was over at the Holistic Center, and they were complete. And I was in the class. Danielle was there as well. I brought my family in there. Anyway, I told Queen Afua, I said, well, I have a space and, we could come over here, we're down here by the water and so on. And I told her, I said, we as women, the power that we have and the responsibility that we have, right, is powerful in bringing forth the healing that needs to be done in Detroit, in the world. But we had to be healed first before we can. And as people who are sisters that are pregnant with visions and dreams, we then need to be healed so that we can stay steadfast and we can, uplift, because we know what it means to go through pregnancy, those who have had babies and those who have helped, we know that. And so when she came and we started that work of the healing of the wound healing and such. So this, all of us coming together like this, I remember with Mama Razia, good morning.
Good morning.
Rising. When
Grand Rising.
Razia came and she said, well, what are we going to do? Just like, talk about what you do. She's like a doctor to me. When I know I need to have good food, I know I do not have to worry about. I don't have to ask her, is this in it or that in it? She's going to tell me what you need. You know how she calms, so calming and assuring. What you need, sister, is blah, 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 and Charles, her partner, they're, right there for us in the community. And then when I go over there and I see all these other people coming in, you want to learn about the community? Go over there. Go over there when it's time to eat. There's got all kinds of people coming in to get their food and eat and go on about their business and the different stories that you hear of why they come and why they get this and who they're coming to get food for. You really see community work in Razia at your house, really. Really, people coming to get food for other people, so that they can have their healing. So, I mean, I have all of you, every single one of you have been so precious and in my last years of developing and maturing. Those that come and those that go, and being loose to understand that God is in control of anything that I'm doing. I know I surrender to the Spirit regarding Elizabeth, because the work that we have to do and the work that we are already doing is so key. And we don't even really get it. I get it. I get it. So, and not to the fullest extent, because I would never have thought that this is what we would end up doing. And this is just a beginning of many, many, many things. So, yeah. Anyone else want to share? What have you gotten out of this and ready to implement as we go into 2024 that you maybe wasn't even thinking about before? And now knowing one another, it has impacted your life.
Well, definitely the spiritual practice component is new. Being open to being coached. I've been open to being coached and given people giving their opinions about whatever I do and not feeling a certain way about it for a long time. But to really delve into that wholeheartedly, you have to be willing to be coached, whatever the circumstances. And and the spiritual practice and the good food. I've been on the good food train for a while. The Fridays with Neza over there at the building that used to belong to the Shrine, I think. And just the experiences that I've had being in the community, period. And always, I just, if there is any wish to change the past, is to have gotten to know Gia and Mama Sumara and everybody like 20 years earlier, 30 years earlier. Like when I was in my early 20s, I would have loved to, have had that family. But I'm very grateful for it now, because everything happens for a reason and a season.
Yeah, yeah. And we have to be really sensitive that season, you know, the
Mm-hmm.
season. We could get caught up in someone, now it's time for them to go on and do something else. And it doesn't mean I'm better. God took them away because blah, blah, blah. No, God's got like when I said, Lord, I don't want to, I have to deal with
Yeah.
this person. He said, no, okay, we'll take care of that. But I want you to release someone, my cousin. I said, no, no,
Yeah.
no. Next, anyone else?
Well, can you hear me,
We can hear you. Yeah.
Queen Aduni?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. This is a bit different from what I would have thought I would be sharing this morning. I think most of us have heard the term, the situation you're looking for is also looking for you.
Yeah.
Are we familiar with that statement? When you think of it, it's really deep.
Yes.
At a time when we're making decisions about which way to go, which way to turn, it's real important to know that there's a spirit, there's an energy out there that's still looking out for you and guiding you. But we had a funny little thing happen at the house here. You know, this is a kind of a big space, and it's a house that's been around a while, so there are a few cracks here and there. So that when the winter sets in, there are some critters outside who would like to be inside in the warmth. So in our garage area, there are 2 or 3 areas that need the patching up or, closure. So Charles had told me, he says, well, be careful with all the food and all the things that are going on here. Any mice that might get into the garage, if you leave the side door open to the house, they could come in. I said, okay, all right, yeah. But I'd never seen anything all these years, so not a big deal. The other day I looked and I put the light on to come into the kitchen, and I saw this little scamper across the and I said, Charles, my God, looks like I saw a mouse. Anyway, he says, not to worry. So it says, keep the doors closed as we had agreed. And he went to the store to buy some decon. And so he's got this decon. I'll take care of him. Not a problem. You won't see him again. And the decon disappeared. He put it on the steps and he went out to start using it, putting it in the traps. No bag. He said, Razia, did you move? No, I didn't even go out there. I'm scared to even open the door. So the decon disappeared. And so we had to go out and buy some more. Then the next day he came, he said, well, I found the problem with the decon. He said, I thought you were hiding it or somebody, I just couldn't believe it. The mice had actually picked the decon up from the steps. He had just put it out there and had eaten it. They took the decon that was meant for them and said, oh, thank you. Thank you for this. And they ate it up. And so we're like, we've never heard of such a thing. What's going on here? So I take things like that seriously. Because it's like another spirit, another energy is helping you to do what you need to do to keep going, to do what you need to do to keep your place in order so that you can do your best work. I've never heard of mice going to find the poison that was bought for them. Never heard of it.
Right.
But in 2023, just moving into 2024, we're seeing these types of demonstrations of how God is and how determined Spirit is to keep us going, to protect us and support us in our work.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember when Razia it was my birthday last year, and I called her at the last minute and said I would love to have my birthday, one of my days of my birthday, to have dinner over there. And everything was still in disarray from the flooding and all that kind of stuff, and everything was all over her house in the living room area, in the dining room area. And I remember her, you know, when she got what menu I wanted and such, she made it happen. But what was so precious was that she didn't know her and Charles, they were willing to do it. And then when she said that she needed help and somebody knocked on the door, can you share that when someone knocked on the door and asked you, do you need some help? Just,
Yeah, that was it was, as they would say, surreal if you just want to look at it from that angle. But if you look at it in terms of spirit and how we are being protected and supported in our journey. But anyway, I was like huffing and puffing and really feeling a bit sad that I was not able to get all this done. I saw the vision. I knew exactly what I needed to do, wanted moved and so forth, but there was no way in that 2 hours. And so she just came and knocked on the door. I hadn't seen this sister for several weeks. And she said, Razia, do you need any help? I said, am I seeing things? It was so unexpected, but I was so grateful. So that sister had eaten her Wheaties or had her sweetgrass or whatever, and she was so energetic, and it just lifted me up.
Yeah.
It gave me more energy, working along with her and seeing this shift in what was happening at the house. So yeah, thanks for remembering that. That was and through the years we've had those precious moments. I see Sister Het showing up on my phone. Beautiful sister. Happy Kwanzaa. So it happened, and I think all of you enjoyed yourselves.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thanks for having me. Thanks for allowing me to have that experience, because my first thing was, no way.
Right. Yeah, like,
I know these sisters love me, but
Yes, wonderful, wonderful.
So
Anything else you want to share?
worked out.
Yeah.
I wanted to share, Mama. I was reading some posts that I had done in the past on Facebook, and one that stuck out a lot was how much people affect us and help us, and they may not even know it. Or they may be in a time when they're not feeling their best, and because they show up for you, it helps them, like Mama Razia just spoke about. But there are so many people on our path that have just helped us, and they may not know it. So I want to focus on making sure I let people know how they have. Sometimes it might be just to breathe together on the phone, And usually when you feel the energy to tell them, it's probably the moment where they need to hear it when they're down. So I want to make sure that we acknowledge that moment and act on it, when the energy hits. Like I was just checking the time a minute ago, and it was 9:22, and that was my father's call number on the CB radio. Or as I'm riding, like when I was riding with Reverend Omani on our $1 Million home tour, we saw a yellow house And I said, oh, that's my mother. And then I look across the other side of the, and there's water. So, and it seems like my mother and father show up together now. My father was on this end. My mother had been on the spiritual side, and my dad was on the physical side. But now that they're both on the spiritual side, they showing up together. Like if I see one, it always be something where the other one is right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope people are open to receive things like that. You may see a color, you may hear somebody's voice, or somebody may walk like your loved one. Acknowledge, let them know that they're giving you that reminder. Tell people when something spiritual or some miracle or some God moment happens. Let them know that they are representing that for you, because I just think that's important. My
Mm-hmm.
jaw is sore. Whew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's these sounds that happen, and like something dropping or something in the kitchen. Nobody's there. So I'm like, did y'all hear that? So now I'm like, okay, I hear you. Okay, I hear you. So that I know you're waiting on me to get into that point where you can actually show me or talk to me and stuff. And I want you to know I'm getting the little subtle, the little subtle sounds. I'm, you know, your spirit knows when you're really ready, right? And but I'm hearing these little sounds here and there in my house and stuff. It'll be like or it'll be, and stuff. I said, okay, I hear you, I hear you, I hear you. Mm-hmm.
Mama, is that you?
Right. Did I say something to do something? You know how when you hear your mom say, "Oh, am I in trouble? What did I do?"
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I know when
Anyone
I was
else?
working, I
Go
was
ahead.
working with my friends, the ladies that I grew up with. Our families grew up for like 3 or 4 generations, and they have a tax office. So I was working with them for a couple seasons, and I had a dream that my mother came in the back door, and she was present there. And when I told the sisters about it, they said, "You tell your mama she can come here anytime she want to." But it was
Right.
just a joy to work with them, because they remind me so much of my mom, and working with them, it was really special. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyone else want to share what they got out of this year, in particular with through this show? Any breakthrough?
I'll go.
Yeah, babe.
So, hold on, let me breathe because it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody, just take a big deep breath.
Okay.
Yes.
This year has been absolutely amazing. One, because it's been a year of life and I'm still alive. And so with life comes an array of things that you would never imagine sometimes. But what I love about this group is that if anything, it's been supportive. If nothing else at all, it's been a support in the many different facets of my life, whether that's for events or that's just for emotional support or having a moment, making sure I'm not falling into the state of hell. We remember that day. Um, and there's just, even more specifically, like, I love jewelry. And Mama Evelyn well, I bought these earrings from Mama Evelyn, but she also got me some other earrings from when I was doing my promoting for my music project, which, that was very helpful and was nice. And it was a lot of impact. Or like when um I was coming out of a really messed up relationship this year, and I was kind of hiding it, but not really. Like, but the personal relationships that I was able to build within this space, within the Elizabeth space, helped me. Like Mama had, um, I would talk to her every once in a while. We went out dancing at one time, and Mama, oh, do I feel a tear? Stay there. The one day that we went out dancing was just such an important moment for me because of everything that I was dealing with at the time, like, a change in my life goals, a change in my plans, and me having to move out and all of that, but then also dealing with the craziness of ending the relationship I was in. I needed to move and I was stuck. So when Mama had took me to go dance, that was such an empowering thing for me. And I wouldn't have, can't say I wouldn't have created that relationship without the Elizabeths, because if we were destined to, be sisters, that was gonna happen. But I appreciate the Elizabeths for creating those connections, because those little things are important. Meeting someone who takes you to go dance, do some Zumba, you don't understand how pivotal that could be in that person's life, and why they need that. So that was something that was really important to me. My waist beads, since Lily B is on here, um my waist beads were so important. I got a pair of waist beads from her. I don't know, I'm a breakup. That's hilarious. But like some time back before I even got into the Elizabeth, she's the one that introduced me to the Elizabeths. But I got those waist beads because I needed to just open up my sacral chakra and like really accept myself at the time. So I got waist beads from her then, and that led to all of this. What else? I'm going through thinking about who else is here. Lakeisha, your products are really wonderful and I need to get some more. And so I don't think I would have naturally like connected, because a lot of people make products, but because of this group, I had more of, I guess, a loyalty, I guess you could say, to you. But then learning so much more about what you have to offer and what I'm like, I'm still here. I haven't reached out yet, but don't worry. It's like in a file compartment in my head, like talk to Lakeisha, but I have to create that space and time for myself. Um, and of course, Queen, you put this all together. And you've been there to support me in other times and things too, but just because you put this together, it supported me. So it's the Elizabeth has been such a beautiful space for me to not only share my purpose, but to be a part of so many others. And it just it's the collective work, even though we're talking, it's Monday through Friday, it's a little conversation, but it's still a collective work, and and it's still a responsibility, because everyone is holding each other accountable um on these calls. So
Oh yeah,
I
the
think that's where
accountability is like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
it's
let me
there.
watch how I say this, and not in a restrictive way, but in a supportive and empowering. Because does
Mhm.
that empower you to say that? And like, oh, well, yeah, yeah. Mm,
Yep.
mm.
Oh, and Reverend
Sister
Amani,
Sheila.
I know I just had to mention Reverend Amani. I
Of
know Reverend
course.
Amani, you already know. Speaking of accountability, you already know. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else
Sister
want to
Sheila,
share?
can you hear me?
Thanks, Lolly.
Is someone else
All
talking?
right,
Sheila, can you
Lakeisha,
hear me?
go on, girl.
Who's talking?
Lakeisha, once she unmutes.
Oh, okay.
Sister Sheila, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. 1 second, Lakeisha.
Okay.
You want to say something,
That's
Brenda?
this is
Brenda?
Well, yeah, I wanted to say, because it was, so many people that do so many different things. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And I was, thinking back on how when I started knitting, because, knitting is my passion. And I taught the girls how to machine knit for 32 years.
Mhm.
And now, yeah, and I had over the many years, people had donated machines to me because they weren't using them, or they didn't know what to do with them. And then we had the flood in the Jefferson Chalmers area, and all but two of my 13, 14 machines got flooded out with sewage water.
Ooh.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. But thank God two of them were saved because they were in different areas.
So, but it's something that I still want to do, and since I'm doing this snowbird thing now in my life, it seems like I'm going to be living in Kentucky, and I'm going to be in a rural area in Kentucky in uh, uh, trailer park, which, a good number of the years of my life I lived in a trailer park. So I know that they can be some beautiful things if you get the right one. And say all that to say that I don't, give me a suggestion on what you think I could do, because and now for some reason this older people, I don't know what you want to call it, the older people age, glaucoma in the eyes has come about and almost made me blind. And then I found some pills that brought about stem cell healing, stem cell healing. And so, I've been using that, and because of using that, I've been using it since February. My right eye is almost perfect, but that left eye is like I'm in a cloudy city or something. So, and if you only have one eye, you don't have depth perception, and you need some depth perception, and I didn't want to come on and say this because I didn't want to bring a downer in this because the whole thing is just real interesting to me. But I just want to know if somebody maybe had some type of suggestion of what to do when you've been doing for something for so many years and then forced into not being able to do it.
Mm.
What would you do?
It just happens that I pulled up on a red light here. I'm in transit. But sister, you know, you are a divine creation, and
Yes.
your spirit always is magnificent. It's always in perfection because that spirit was given to you by the divinity, so it can never be anything but perfect. So
Amen.
we are taught, and this is easier said than done when you're in the middle of crisis. I do recognize that, but
Yeah.
We're taught to give, to sorrow over the challenges that come up in our lives, and sometimes it is helpful. It can be helpful to flow into the challenges of our lives. Sometimes it is helpful to instead of resisting a change, to allow for that change by not giving into it, not like you did with the stem cell medication. You did something to help yourself. So no, we're not saying don't help yourself, but recognize that if your energy, your spirit, your divine, the divinity in you is saying that maybe it's time to do something different. Maybe in this new environment and with the new community you'll be a part of, there's some other aspects of you, some other skills, talents that may come forward that would not have come forward had you not been forced to change your focus. So I just say that to you. And then the other part in regards to the eyes, it's a sister in Chicago. And what she has done around glaucoma and eyesight, she suggests that there's this hot, peppery type of hot liquid that they use to flush the eyes. And it is hot and peppery. And no, I have not done it, but others that I know have, and have used that to regain clear sight. So
Wow.
I can, I can, yeah, I'll share the contact for that sister, and if you want to and find it, but I can share it and you can pursue it. But just ask your divinity to make it clear for you. What is it that you're not seeing clearly? What is it that you now need to focus on? This is improve, and that those.
And she's going up under some tunnels and stuff.
Yeah. So Brenda, do you get the what Angie is saying about asking God what are you not
What should
wanting
I
to
focus
see?
on now?
Can you hear?
Say
Can
it
you hear me?
again. Say it again.
Hmm?
Say it again. Say it again. It's like I'm
Asking,
talking to
asking
you.
spirit, what is it that you don't want to see? That would be one of the things, because that would cause things, and when we in the spiritual realm, things that we don't want to see, it will show up physically. In that I just
Okay.
don't want to see this. Okay. And then the other is well, she said she's going to give some information about that. And then the other thing for all of us is that things may come forth that will cause us and give us the opportunity to learn something else. Like I remember when this young lady, she was young, and she was her family were my clients. In school, her boyfriend came in and shot her, and she became blind. And how she dealt with it was so graceful. You know, she forgave the young man, and she wasn't taking pity and stuff, but what she did was she learned how to operate in blindness. And and then what she brought to the table, because she was not angry and such, which is you're such a peaceful, wonderful person, to go into that and learn other things. So now she knows how, and her family know how to do sign language, and now she can deal with a whole nother world. So those things that seem to break us down, give us no purpose because we were doing these things. Now we can bring a new you to the table. How are you functioning now that whatever that situation is. Razia, what was that you said when you first came on? You said, I don't know if we've heard of that before.
It was the situation that you're looking for is also looking for you.
Yeah.
And it goes along with the term, when one door closes, another door opens. And many times, I know in my life, I resisted looking into the other door. I was looking at the things that I had lost, or the things that were destroyed in the flood or whatever. And we can take too long looking at what we no longer have. And as quickly as possible, we should start looking into that new door, that new space.
Yeah.
And ask the divine what that could be. That's what I'm asking. Okay.
So and she'll give me that information. We'll get together, and then I'll get that to you, the sister that did the other things with the eyes. And also you mentioned the stem cells. Are you still able to get that? Because we do have a sister that has those as well.
Well, no, I'm still actually what happened, I was taking them, and then I just got a call. Usually I don't answer the phone if I don't know who you are. But I answered this call, and it was one of the guys that helped to create that stem cell medicine. And he said, how's it going for you? I said, well, my right eye is really, really good. And so he said, well, I don't know why they didn't tell you, but you should have got some of this stuff too, which was, from the same company. And he said, I'm going to send you some for free. He sent me 90 days worth of that stem cell greater growth. And I really appreciated it, so now I'm in the process of taking that.
Well, the sister that we know, her name is Stacy, she has the patches. Have you
Yeah.
tried the
Mm-hmm.
patches? Brenda?
Patches.
Yeah,
I'm
the
here.
stem cell patches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll hook you up with that. And then we'll talk more. I would love for you to meet Reverend Omani. And if you're ready to go deep, that's the one. So we've
Okay.
been, walking the spiritual path since I met you. So so but
Slowly, surely.
there's the work, it's spirit first and then it manifests. So
Mm-hmm.
so we'll talk more about that. But yeah. Anyone else want to share?
Lakeisha.
Lakeisha? Oh,
Yes. So first I want to say that every single last person um on here has impacted my life in one way or another, even the ones who may not know. Just like Razia, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Being at Elizabeth, hearing her name throughout the community, you know, I was able to go on Facebook, look and see some of the things that she was doing, the videos that, was kind of like inspirational. It's into the area that I'm in with natural living by design. And, even just the cooking and learning things different has been an impact. The main thing here is the sisterhood. The sisterhood meant a lot to me. And every day is I'm big on personal development, and every day of the week that's what we're doing. We're working on our personal development in different areas of your life. It's hitting pretty much all the areas of your life, from money to finances to health and wellness to mental, spiritually, to artwork. It just hits all areas of your life. And then the support that we get from one another. Like, I have a new family, like amazing family. And they say you are a product of your environment. And they say if you want to know what your future look like, just kind of look at the people who you are surrounded with. And when I think about
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth and all the other people who support me, I know without a shadow of a doubt that all my dreams are going to come true. Because my
Okay.
family, Elizabeth, is amazing. Every single last one of you are absolutely amazing. The support, the growth, being able to see the breakthroughs. Stacy hasn't even been with us that long, and it's to see the breakthroughs that she has. It made me feel good to be able to introduce her. And it makes me feel good to be able to introduce other people to this space, because the space is just so amazing and so warm and so inviting. And so the growth, so just today, the lady driving, speaking, I had to take notes, talking about the divinity in you, how spirit is perfect, how flowing to
Mm-hmm.
those are wisdom, those are
Mm-hmm.
nuggets, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
have had it if I wasn't on here today. So I
Mm-hmm.
just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. And I feel love. I feel like everybody here has my best interest at heart. I feel the love, and I haven't even known you all 2 years, and I love you. And I know you genuinely love me. And so that's what I have getting out of this space: love, support, and a new family.
Yes.
All right.
Or Monty, you want to say something? Or Maureen? We have just a few more minutes. Well, we're at our last couple of minutes, and we go to from 9 to 10, starting Monday, the new year. Yes, we will be on January the 1st, which is a Monday. We'll kick it off at 9 o'clock, 9 to 10. We're going to upgrade ourselves and level up. We're going to level up, okay? And just get ready for an exciting, I mean, right now, just right now, and being present in the moment in a minute. Thank you so much, Mama Ngia. I love you so much. And anything that I'm doing some major things next year, major. And it's going to, create opportunities for our community and the world. And I always knew from the concept, which is 30 years ago, of the Elizabeth. That's when I got pregnant, with the vision of God's vision of Elizabeth. And since then, to be where we are now, I can see it unfolding, and things that I would have visions of what Elizabeth were going to do and blah, blah, blah. They're coming forth, and God is providing for the things that we want to do. So I'm very honored to be in this position, and I'm so honored that you are here with me, and that things are going to be different in this world. It's going to be some tumultuous times. There's going to be some graceful times, and we are the ones that can bring the grace and make sure that our people are okay, that we are okay. Everybody in our community, that we're okay. We're going to get through whatever this world is going through. We together, we can get through. And it takes that healing. It takes our healing first. So we need to be open to that, and open to other methodologies, other spiritualities. And just because we are, if nothing else, I believe that we are one, and that there's no better than. It does not exist. Nobody's better than anybody else. And there are places that God has put us on that we chose to be here today with one another, So and that being said, if anyone doesn't have anything else to say, I want to play We Are, I Am. It's my new song my husband and I created. And I want to share that with you. Mama Ngia, I told Lolly that, do you know Mama Ngia? I was talking to her last night, and then kind of, but because your name is out there, right? When major things are happening. And I said, well, you want to know, and she wants to know you because of what you're doing in the community, as far as like the youth and finding out more about one another. So anyone have
Yes, that's definite. When I heard the sister speak about the things she's doing, I made the note to get back with you to make sure I connect with her. And I just want to thank each of you sisters. We had our kind of like office party, our team gathering last evening. And one of the things that people just kept commenting about was the love that was in the room. And that's because, we get to choose mostly who we work with. And we choose to work with people who are like-minded. And what I have found is that the like-minded people, they're about service. Yeah. They come to serve. They serve gladly and readily. Yeah. And I just am grateful this morning to start this day with you sisters, who some I know and some I have not gotten to know yet, but the vibe is here. And we just, they said at the time of the tumult that the light workers come to earth to help guide folks through it. And so it will be to our ascension as well as to those around us. Many blessings to each of you. And I look forward to connecting with all of you in this upcoming calendar year.
Absolutely. Oh, wait, that's not right. So I want to play We Are, I Am. I played this, Mama Ngia, for Queen Oceandara, and let me see. Did I, I'm trying to remember, did I play it before she left? But I was thinking of her when I what am I doing here? I created that. Talking and engineering is, somebody else say something while I pull this up before everybody dispenses. Okay, so I gotta bring this. Oh, got it. All right, here we go.
Okay. Nama, 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 nama.
We are, I am. And you can do it, we are, comma, I am, or we are, I am. Whichever way you want to say it, it's the same. Now I got to, and I got to move fast when I do this. Cause, okay, this. We are, I am. Where you at, honey? Where are you at? Oh, okay. There we are. Okay, I gotta move fast. Can y'all hear it?
Yeah.
Chosen generation, a royal priesthood. We are kings and queens of nations, certain of our own destination. We are a peculiar people, wearing peculiar hairstyles. We are a people of purpose, leaving a legacy of divine urgency. And we've come to revolutionize your mind.
right. So that we are all I am. No better than
Amen.
we are one. And I just want to thank you all for this year. It's been amazing. Thank all of you who have participated. Everybody's a leader. Like, oh, Reverend Almighty, her days was all messed up. And by the time she came on, she didn't even realize that it was her show until we were about to close. And I and Jill was coming on tomorrow. She done missed her whole day. She was serving the community and we're wearing herself out. So thank you, every single one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah. And then now, Brenda, you know how to come on. We got to get your camera together so you can come on, and and we'll go from there. Lolly, the best for your event.
Yes.
Very best.
Thank you.
May you have a Tyler Perry experience of people lined up all the way around the building.
Amen.
God is putting his hand of approval for what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same with everyone else and whatever you're doing. Give yourself a big hug. Now make it pop, hug the whole world, because it's sure enough needed.
Yep.
And sprinkle all the goodness of love and purity and sound and harmony and dance. and upside down high heel shoes. Have a
And
great
let's myth it. Make it fun.
Make it fun. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Peace out.
Oh,
Peace out.
Love you guys.